Do you need to be spiritual to practice yoga? What do you think?
Can I say just no?
Yeah, but there's so much spiritual wisdom to be learned from yoga. And okay, so yeah, for the people who are wondering what the short and quick answer is, no. Yoga is a form of exercise that is backed up by science that will help your flexibility. It will help your cardiovascular health. It will help
Your posture?
your strength, your posture, all that stuff. It's science. But a lot of people are actually probably shying away from getting the benefits of yoga because they think that it's some sort of woo-woo,
Yeah.
airy-fairy sort of spiritual
Exactly.
thing. What do you
Like-
think of that?
Yeah, I mean, like, it's true. So many people, I've met, like, so many people that they didn't want to practice to try yoga because they would say that
It's a cult.
it's a cult, yeah. Like I don't believe in those things. So you don't have to believe in those things in order to practice yoga. You just
Need to try it.
reconnect with your body. You know, that's the most important thing.
Yeah, I mean, there's lots of yoga studios you can go to where you have all sorts of gurus who will tell you all sorts of
Yeah,
stuff.
you will
and
have also
people
the spiritual places that you can join if you're one of these people, right?
Yeah,
But
yeah.
not all of us are.
Well, it depends how you want to be spiritual, actually, doesn't it?
Exactly.
It depends what sort of spirituality you like. My spirituality has always been a personal thing.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I believe, like, for example, like, spirituality is like having a penis. You only show it to people when you know that the person wants to see it, right? You only bring it out.
Okay.
So what I think people resent about some yoga things is like it's outwardly spiritual and that you might be forced to believe things, right?
Exactly.
Yeah, and you might be forced to listen to some stuff which might sound like nonsense, whether it is or isn't nonsense. It might sound like nonsense, and you might not resonate with it as a human being because you just want to have a nicer body and feel good and
Yeah.
improve
Plus-
your life.
Plus, we live in a Western world, right? I mean,
Yeah.
we can't just follow the, I don't know, like the Eastern like philosophy and sometimes
it's a bit of a jump, you know.
Exactly.
Because lots of us are living these stressful lifestyles, and the technology has really sucked us in to the point that you're watching these YouTube videos of people
to learn
talking
about yoga instead of practicing yoga.
Okay, we'll click on one of the other videos. if you
Okay,
wanna
okay,
practice, yeah. But if you want to hear this conversation right now, you can continue and hear, well, consciousness, spirituality. I've always been a pretty sort of spiritual person as well. But as I said, it's something I view as very personal, and I want every experience to be based on my own direct experience of life, not what some guru is telling me is the truth, or some, you know, talk about some guy named Jesus or something and what he said and all that stuff. It's like, no, this is me, my life, this is my way of looking at reality, and spirituality is a way of connecting to the greater side of that, the greater connectedness of everything. Now I sound spiritual. But the point I was trying to make is that yoga is an excellent way to get there. It's based on your own experience of your own body, and any sort of spiritual raising of consciousness that you can feel from the practice of yoga is your own direct felt experience. And it's not dogma, it's not religious, it's you and your body.
Exactly. What we are trying to say is that you just, start from your body, and once you just, see that I see something different here. And if you're this kind of person, then you can try to search something more. But if not, it's okay just to stay with your body and reconnect with your body. Right?
Of course. And just something like stress, okay? Stress is like a spiritual noise, let's say. It's a spiritual alarm sound, and if you look at it like that, I'm stressed out. What does that mean? That you have some sort of fear, you have some sort of anxiety, you have some sort of bad feeling in yourself. And by embracing yoga and the body, getting a sweat, stretching your muscles, meditating a little bit, closing your eyes at the end of the class, and just tapping into the nicer voices inside yourself rather than the voices that are telling you that you need to be stressed out because of this, that, and that.
What you have to do, like your schedule, your life, your routine, everything.
But tapping into the voice outside of that and taking a moment to stop and enjoy everything, that in itself is spiritual. And so, yes, yoga can be sort of a gateway to spirituality.
Yeah.
I mean, how was it for you? Were you spiritual before you started yoga, or did?
No, not really. I mean, I was always trying to feel connected with my body and myself. And as you said, like, spirituality is something very personal. So, but yeah, I mean, like, with the time, I started realizing that, I was more interested in something. So I started reading some things, and yeah, I was into it. But I can't say that I'm like the most spiritual person in the world, although I teach yoga. So yeah,
okay.
And it's fine.
And how much of, when you were learning to be a teacher, how much of that teaching is spiritual?
So depends, I think, like the training that you go. Like, there are some yoga trainings that they're very spiritual, and some of them they're not so much. So depends what you want, but you always you can always make a research before you start your training, and you see what you like, what is for you, what is not for you, and you just choose, make your choice.
Yeah, so also with the yoga studios that you choose, I would think that the classes that they have in, like, fitness centers, gyms, would by default be less spiritual, more focused towards the, the practice of actual physical work.
Maybe, but still, like, depends on the teacher. I've been like in a gym, that I would expect that it would be super, focused on body and just like exercise, and it was really spiritual. So I've been like in yoga studios that I would expect the opposite, and it was exactly the opposite. So again, I think depends of the person that teach you. So your instructor.
I guess the basic thing is, don't be afraid of yoga.
No,
because you think that it's spiritual
don't.
nonsense. Choose the yoga studio that
it fits you,
that fits
your yoga style. It fits
the brand.
For you. Yeah, exactly.
Should be marketed towards and you will meet like-minded people there, and then that's the meat of the issue, or the tofu of the issue. But then, okay, if you have a nice yoga meal of physical exercise and stuff like that, and then there's a nice dessert, which is a little bit of spiritual calm inside yourself, and you happen to becoming, through the practice of yoga, more spiritual, more connected to your environment, more connected to other people around you.
You can just give it a try.
Give it a try.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.